Dina. Hi, I'm Kyler Lewis. I'm here today because on April 10th of 2020, my mom saved my life. The night before, I had a terrible headache. My parents gave me Tylenol, but I was kicking and screaming because I was in so much pain. It was the worst pain I've ever had in my life. I truly cannot imagine anything that could possibly hurt more. On April 10th, I had a stroke at just 15 years old. The morning I was riding in my car with my mom when suddenly, I suddenly remember being confused. I was nauseous and then eventually unresponsive. I don't actually remember what happened most of that day because I was not mentally there. I went from riding in the car to suddenly being in a hospital, a bed 2 hours away from home. I was greeted by a nurse who came into the room to check on me. The medical staff will continue to check on me every 30 minutes for the next 7 days. For me, 1 second I'm in the car with my mom, and the next I am looking at the nurse I've met before and this tube sticking out of my skull. I didn't find out I had this tube sticking out of my head until I went to scratch my head. That was a big surprise, and I didn't like dealing with it the rest of the week. I felt like a dog on a post who couldn't move past a certain distance. It wasn't fun at all. When I woke, my mom told me all this bizarre stuff that had apparently happened to me, and I looked at her in total shock. I was very depressed when I was given pictures of my brain. They told me I had a mass. The mass I was looking at, which was the size of a hen's egg, was a brain arterial venous malformation. That is a very big word, and it was a very big AVM. They told me the mass I was looking at was an AVM. How could someone with a mass that big have no prior symptoms? I was a dancer, an entertainer, and an athlete who could do all sorts of flips and tricks and turns. I had never had a headache before that day. How could I live for 15 years without knowing there was this huge thing in my head? My AVM is on my left side, so it affects my right side the most. Of course, as luck would have it, which isn't the luck I wanted, I am right-handed. Now when I go to arm wrestle someone, my left hand is actually stronger than my right. It was amazing to me how the brain helps the rest of my body compensate when part of it gets damaged. Hooray for physical occupational therapy, speech and cognitive therapy, and therapists, our heroes. When I left the hospital, my doctor told me they could not operate on my AVM because it was not safe. My AVM is not operable. The doctor said they didn't know the best way to treat my condition, but they did know they were not the ones to help me. So I was left to discover a solution on my own, though I wasn't going to. My mom was. And Dad. My mom talked to 16 neurosurgeons, which was totally overkill. But that is typical for my mom. If you have met her, you understand I speak the truth here. Thanks to Dina Chan, our family was assisted by the Aneurysm and AVM Foundation. Thank you, Dina. TAF helped me to get treatment with UCSF in California. If you want to know a great place to travel, California is the place. Now I know you're questioning me here since Disney in Florida has a better Disney theme park, but I digress. Each time before I had a brain surgery at UCSF, my mom and dad would take me on a unique and fun Californian adventure. I got to see Alcatraz, Muir Woods, Pier 39, which has great food, especially those mini donuts, a must try, and Fisherman's Wharf, conveniently located near the Ghirardelli Square chocolate place. One of my favorite parts of each of my treatments was staying at the family house near just the most delicious buffalo wing food truck on the planet. The truck lives in a food truck park right across the street from family house. It is a super neat place. Before each surgery, I was able to meet other AVM survivors here in California. It made a huge impact on me. It made me realize I was not the only one on the planet diagnosed with the brain vessel disease. The other survivors boosted my morale when I needed the most. John, Andrew, if you are here today, thank you. Thank you does not begin to say how much I appreciate you coming to my rescue before my brain surgeries. What I think everyone needs to remember is that when you're dealing with a hard medical condition, it's important to reach out to others who have the same condition for support, because we are all in this together. It's also important for people who do not have this condition to be friends with people who do, because friendship at this difficult time is so very, very important. Thank you to my service dog, Sammy, and my other best friend, Hayden, who both came here today. Sometimes people don't want to invite someone who has had a stroke to hang out because they know that person who had a stroke can't do everything everybody else can do. I am a great example of this, because when Hayden, my sister Rylan, and my brother Caden go on a roller coaster, I have to cheer them on the sidelines. Because big brain AVM equals no sudden changes in velocity. And that's okay, because I enjoy watching my friends have fun. Plus, while I'm waiting for them and watching them scream, I'm usually comfortably seated and totally enjoying an ice cream and pretzel. So when you hang out, take your AVM, aneurysm, and stroke friends with you. And to my AVM, aneurysm, and stroke friends, remember you have a superpower, a special, most awesome superpower none of your friends have. You and your friends don't have to wait in those horrible lines at amusement and water parks. So there are serious perks to being friends with someone who has survived the stroke. To my family and Hayden, yeah, you're welcome. In conclusion, I want to thank everyone for coming out today, with a special thank you to the Aneurysm and AVM Foundation for helping me when I needed the most help in my life, by getting me with the doctors right for me, and for allowing me to speak with you here today. AVM Warriors, I'm here for you always. Never hesitate to reach out to me, for real. By working hard, being here for each other, and never giving up, we can all be heroes of our own story. And to Dr. Abla, Dr. Gupta, and Dr. Fullerton, thank you for taking good care of me.